sky, land, and sea, all three planes of existence on this earth. Birds fly, beasts roam, and fish swim. But what if there was something bigger lurking in all these three places? In this video, we will look at three giant cryptids from the sky, land, and sea. In Algonquin Native American mythology, the Thunderbird was seen as a kind entity of nature that ruled its domain of the sky. The Thunderbird was known to assist starving hunters during their quest for food. In some tales, the Thunderbird engaged an orca in a world-breaking battle. In modern times, there have been recurring sightings of large birds across North America, a prominent one being in Arizona in 1890, in which a pair of cowboys shot down a large flying creature. The cowboys then supposedly pinned the carcass to the barn and revealed that its wingspan stretched across the whole barn. A picture was allegedly taken of the creature, but it has been long lost, making it near impossible to prove the story true. Although many have claimed to have this photograph, nothing ever came up. However, the most bizarre incident came over half a century later in Lawndale, Illinois. In 1977, a boy named Marlon Lowe claimed to have been kidnapped by two large birds with sharp talons, white neck rings, and a 10-foot wingspan. The bird clutched Lowe and flew for some distance until it finally let go. Many people theorized that Lowe was making up stories, while others suggested that it may have been an Andean condor, as it is the only bird that possesses such a large wingspan. However, Andean condors only live in South America, so it is highly unusual to find one flying around Illinois. Since then, sightings have popped up across North America, but nothing has been conclusive. So the question remains, are the Thunderbirds just legend, or do they live among us, casting their shadow upon our terrestrial world? The Caucus Mountain range runs 750 miles across the continents of Europe and Asia, with temperatures capable of falling to lows of 21 degrees Fahrenheit. Inhabitants must be strong to brave these conditions. The Almisty, Sasquatch-like creatures, are said to roam these mountains. The Almisty are described to be large bipedal creatures that stand up to 6.5 feet tall, with thick brown fur and great inhuman strength. Sightings of the Alma occurred as early as the 1400s, in which Mongol prisoners recorded seeing 8 men in Mongolia. In modern times, expeditions have been held to find the elusive creature, but to no avail. Any fur samples that were supposedly from the Alma were also disproven, and turned out to be from brown bears after a study in 2014. However, the most compelling evidence of the existence of the Almisty comes from Russia in the mid to late 19th century. In the mid-1800s, a group of hunters wandering Georgia's Ochamir region of Russia encountered a wild, hairy woman. The group of men captured the creature and caged her, leaving her in the ownership of a noble named Eji Janaba. The hairy woman would later be dubbed as Xana. Xana was described as having auburn fur, dark skin, great strength, and with relatively large breasts. Xana was hostile at first, but over time grew more passive. Xana was eventually free from her cage and was free to roam around Tukina, the village she was held at. Xana was later trained to do domestic tasks, such as grinding flour and collecting firewood. Xana was recorded to have run faster than a horse and was able to overcome strong tides when swimming, despite living near society. Xana never picked up on certain human customs, such as wearing clothes, as she preferred to walk around nude and was unable to learn human language. What was most bizarre, however, was that her owner, Janaba, pursued sexual relations with Xana, leading to the birth of several children. A few of Xana's infants ended up dying after she attempted to bathe them in freezing cold waters. The rest of Xana's children grew up to be relatively normal, human-looking children who were capable of grasping language. Her youngest son, Quit, was known to have a volatile temper and exhibited great strength. Quit passed away in 1954, but his skull was recovered and later analyzed. It was found that his facial bones were thicker than normal, his His tooth samples had interesting finds. White's extracted DNA was shown to have a maternal sub-Saharan origin. This find has led to many people speculating that Xana was an escaped Ottoman slave that made her way to Russia. However, this does not explain her thick fur coat, her abnormal strength, and her inability to grasp human language. Xana passed away in 1890 in relative obscurity. Her body was never recovered, leaving many questions and secrets behind. Was Xana one of these supposed Almisty? And do the Almisty truly exist? In Antarctica, the temperatures can drop down to negative 70.6 degrees Fahrenheit, so whatever creatures there may be must have the proper adaptations to survive in such a harsh climate. Various species of whale are native to Antarctica, but what if there was something else? The ningen, which is Japanese for human, is a cryptid reported to live in Antarctica. It is described as a pale humanoid creature that is around 20 to 30 meters long, or 65 to 98 feet long. It is also documented to be a nocturnal creature, meaning it is hard to record evidence of this cryptid, as it is more active at night. The ningen was first sighted by a Japanese whale research ship in Antarctica. It was first mistaken for some type of submarine before the crew took a closer look and realized it was a living creature. It then disappeared into the depths. The sighting gained attention over the Japanese platform of 2chan and gained enough popularity to appear in MU, a Japanese magazine that comments on the paranormal, in 2007. After the 2007 issue was published, there was an emergence in photographic and video evidence of the ningen. There has also been a picture of it on Google Maps in the South Atlantic Ocean. However, none of the evidence was conclusive in proving this creature's existence. Possible explanations of the creature were that it is a large chunk of ice, or some type of large albino whale. However, some suspect that it may be some sort of government conspiracy to keep a potential mutated or alien creature hidden. This leads to the question of whether there truly is a creature prowling beneath the freezing waters of Antarctica.